You're listening to the oneofus.net podcast network.
Hey everybody, this is Sean. First of all, I want to thank all of you who have been listening to this crazy little podcast for the past 3 years. I had this idea a few years back, and Brad Henderson came in and really turned this little idea into something that's been really special over the past 3 years. So what we did for this episode was we did a live Google Hangouts and put it all on YouTube. Just try to have structure, but it's basically organized chaos when you have stuff going on live. So that is available on our YouTube feed. You can find that over at thescreamcast.com. There's a link to our YouTube. You can watch that whole 2.5 hours there. What I've done is I've edited that into a podcast. It wouldn't be very conducive to podcast form, just having all that raw audio. So I tried to, mold this a little bit into a podcast and section it out a little bit. So we have myself, BJ, and Brad separately have our top 10 of all time. In between those, we have our conversations with those of you who hung out with us on Google Hangouts. So, and of course, I snuck some news with Josh Obershaw into the podcast as well. Hope you guys enjoy this. It was a lot of fun to do. We'll be doing a lot more of these live hangouts in the near future, so keep an eye out for that.
Something's coming.
Stand by. Hold on to your hats. Here we go.
Welcome to the Screamcast, episode 128. I am Sean DeRager. With me, as always, is Brad Henderson.
Wait, what is that?
Garage Brewing, Belgian-style triple. Good shit. So here's the drill for today. This is our live YouTube podcast. We've already had a slew of technical difficulties, so we're going to see if we can get through an entire show. We'll be doing our top 10 films of all time throughout the show. Brad will give his list. I'll give my list. BJ, when she joins, will give her list. In between our top 10s, we have people that have wanted to come on, past listeners that have been listening for a while, want to get involved with the show. They're going to be giving us a flick that they've discovered through the show. That's the plan for today. And then I got some emails and I think some voicemails.
Andrew Bish, this is for you, buddy. Look at that. Did I mention I already started drinking?
Yeah, you're 3 hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
So here we go. Brad, let's jump into our top 10, then we'll bring a couple people in, and then I'll give my top 10 of all time. Sound good?
Top 10. So yeah, that's the basis of the show. We've never talked about our even though probably people know at least 5 out of the 10 that it's in my top 10. But yeah, it's the whole basis of the show. Top 10 of all time. So yeah, and then the people that are going to join us, we ask our audience, our fans, our diehard fans that's watching this, all 10, there should be more.
13 now.
Anyways, 13, yeah! Ask them to give us a title that we turned them on to that became a favorite. All right, so, drum roll. No drum roll. Thanks, Sean, for the sound effects. Beyond the Black Rainbow, one of my top 10 of all time. I saw this at Fantastic Fest 2012, somewhere around there. Completely my shit. I understand kind of the, hate, not really hate, but the kind of dislike for it. I get it when people don't like it because it's very, it's all about aesthetic. It's the look, it's the sounds. But it seems like it was made for me, one of those personal films. I can see why people don't dig it, but it's always been it's been a favorite since I saw it at the festival. I don't see too many films twice at a festival. I watched this twice at a festival, so I was completely blown away by it. And I've just loved it ever since. Watch it, a lot. And I listen to the soundtrack. It's one of my writing songs, or my writing soundtracks is the soundtrack. That makes sense? Noah! Yeah! What's he saying?
Go play with them. Sorry, microphone's muted. That's why.
He's mad. He's mad. What'd you do? What'd you say to him? He can't be on the show?
Noah, kids, what'd I tell you?
Oh, microphone. This is where Sean. I'm going to say what Sean's saying. You get the fuck out of here. All right.
Oh God.
So next up, I made this statement on one of the last shows when we were doing our top 10 for 2016. I'm not fucking lying. I finally put it in my top 10 of all time. Everybody wants some. I truly, truly, truly love this movie. I can't get a fucking enough of it. I mean, it's one of those things where people watch something and they're like, oh, this is the best movie ever. It's one of my favorites. Well, I've seen this movie a total of maybe 6 or 7 times. It's the shit. It's so fucking good. It's such a buddy movie. I'm a huge fan of Dazed Confused, but honestly, I think this is a little bit better than Dazed Confused. And I've seen it actually more times than probably Dazed Confused. Next up, everybody knows this one. Not going to spend too much time on it because we just talked about it on the last show. It's not Sci-Fi Invasion, but Raiders of Atlantis is on this set. This is the DVD. This is what it comes like. There's all these fucking loose DVDs in here. There's even multiple DVDs and sleeves. But yeah, it's better than the VHS. It's a shitty release by Mill Creek, but hey, at least it's on DVD. And that's all I care. I've been trying to get some import. I think it's from Jay Jones that said "fuck yes." He's probably talking about Raiders of Atlantis. There's some kind of like Greek DVD that's is known to be like kind of the best like quality, but I can't find like a legit copy. They all look like bootlegs. Next up, a little spin here because we are the Screamcast, but we are very diverse when we talk about film. One of my favorite films, Harold and Maude. I cherish this movie. Whenever I write, I think about this movie just because, to me, pretty much everything I have, I consider this a perfect movie. Between cinematography, between writing, everything about this film is 100%. It's off the charts. It's sweet. It's sad. It makes you feel every emotion. You laugh, you cry. I mean, if you haven't seen Harold and Maude, it's about a young kid who is kind of depressed. He meets an older lady, Maude, who kind of changes his life. It's a really beautiful film. Watched it numerous times, but in my top 10. Next up, Buffalo 66, the Vincent Gallo joint. I saw Buffalo 66 when I worked at Blockbuster. My coworker, Ben Doan, told me to rent it. And I was just like, Ben was fucking crazy, but he told me about this film, Buffalo 66. And I watched it. I didn't know what I was watching because it felt like it was supposed to be funny, but it also was a drama. And I've just learned through history it's just fucking Vincent Gallo being a fucking dick and just being himself and being, kind of nutty. It's very, very weird. Like I said, it's very dark humor. There's a lot of, moments in the film where it's trying to play to be serious, but it just becomes across as funny. That like there's a moment in the film where Vincent Gallo gets in the car with Christina Ricci, and he's like messing with the gear shifting. He's like, "What is this? What is this? Is this one of these fucking shifter cars?" He's like, "I don't drive a shifter car. I drive cars that shift themselves. They shift themselves. They shift themselves." Have you ever heard of fucking Lincoln or Cadillac? Luxury cars, and he just like goes on, and I'm like, this is very uncomfortable. But after watching it a few times, I just become, I just love it because I become a little kid just giggling through the whole film. There's also a part in the film where he's talking to his friend Rocky, who he calls Goon, and he's calling Rocky Goon. And he's like, "Hey Goon, I need you." He's like, "They don't call me Goon anymore. They call me Rocky." He's like, "Who the fuck calls you Rocky?" He's like, "My friends, man. My friends." He's like, "No." He's like, you're goon. You know why? Because you're ugly and retarded. You're an ugly retard. And I just like, dude, Vincent Gallo's like, he's being for real though. Like that's him. I have a feeling that's him. But anyways, Buffalo 66, one of all-time favorites. These are in no particular order. Next up, this is a fucking set that Mill Creek put out. All three from Dusk Till Dawn films, and then Full Tilt Boogie. If you haven't seen Full Tilt Boogie,
it's one of the best film documentaries.
It's like not even a documentary at the same time. It's like a fucking it's like another sequel to From Dusk Till Dawn. But yeah, it's a great doc about the making of From Dusk Till Dawn, and of course Tarantino and fucking George Clooney just kicking ass, man. They just kick so much ass together. But From Dusk Till Dawn's always been one of my favorites. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. But Full Tilt Boogie is great. From Dusk Till Dawn 2 and 3.
I haven't even seen those.
I don't like those movies. Anyways, From Dusk Till Dawn, so many great moments. It's one of those films that just like it was made before kind of that, even before they like did Grindhouse, before they got really into like, you know, bringing back these older actors. Like this is one of the first films to like really go out there and do it and be mainstream and be popular with George Clooney, but also have so many things going for it in the background. I mean, Tom Savini plays a fucking lead character in this movie. Fred Williamson plays a lead character in this film. You know, between the soundtrack, I mean, fucking Tarantino writing it, he's in it. Fucking George fucking Clooney's in this shit. I mean, how crazy is that? Fucking George Clooney. I mean, yeah, he was in like Return of the Killer Tomatoes and, you know, Return to Horror High and shit. But I mean, he gained fame already. Like he's a A-lister almost, you know, or getting to you know, the I guess A-lister part, because I don't know if he started ER yet. Was he in ER? Was that the ER dude? He was in ER.
Yeah, no, he was in ER, and this was kind of like he was trying to break into movies, and like I think
Mike D said yes, 1994 ER.
Boom, Mike D dropping the knowledge. I guess Robert Rodriguez, did they co-direct it?
Is joining? He's joining the call. Go, Robert!
No, it's not. He shot George Clooney from a certain angle, kind of looking up to try to give him more of a heroic stature. Whoever it is, Rodriguez, they co-directed, right? Rodriguez and Tarantino?
I mean, dude, this is a fucking Tarantino movie, but Robert Rodriguez, obviously, there's a lot of, you know, there's a little bit of Tarantino influence. I definitely know that he probably called some of those shots, but I mean, it feels like a Robert Rodriguez film. But no, they didn't co-direct. They Okay. Tarantino just wrote the fucking shit and fucking ran it. But I mean, yeah, dude, fucking Greg Nicotero's in it for a split second. I mean, KMB Effects had their huge thing with this thing, and now they're fucking doing fucking Chronicles of Narnia and fucking mainstream shit and The Walking Dead. I mean, how cool is that shit, man? Like, pretty much everybody from this film has had great success. Fucking Danny Trejo. Like, I mean, yeah, he wasn't in these movies like he is now. I mean, yeah, he's kind of a B-lister, but he's in all these fucking B movies. Like, he's getting lead roles. You know, I mean, especially like after like Con Air and shit. But it's got a great cast. I mean, fucking. Speaking of which, it plays Pete Bottoms. The guy that's in Too Late, John Hawkes. Fucking John Hawkes plays Pete Bottoms. In this movie. So anyways, yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn, it's fucking great. Next up, one of my favorite directors. His film, The Dark Backward, always kicks my ass. It's hilarious, but it's not The Dark Backward. Detroit Rock City. One of the best comedies ever. It's out there. It's got Kiss. It's got a great fucking cast. I mean, Giuseppe Andrews, I've learned to absolutely adore Giuseppe Andrews over the past, like, year. I mean, I've always known who he was. He was in these big films when he was younger. Then he kind of fell off the map. And then, you know, they made that documentary. Giuseppe Makes a Movie. If you haven't seen it, highly suggest it. Adam Rifkin brings this glorious fucking comedy. I mean, it's such a buddy movie. It's got so much shit going on in it. It's very, like, pulp culture type thing, but it's also kind of like, I don't know, he hits this fucking, like, note in this film that it like this movie, like even though it's kind of a cult movie and it's got a lot of like small shit in it like that, is so broad in like getting its fan base, because it's so weird that people that you will find out that loves Detroit Rock City. Just fucking look on Twitter. Look at Adam Rifkin's retweets of people that are talking about Detroit Rock City. Like you click on those, I've clicked on those profiles. It's like you would not expect this person to love Detroit Rock City, but it actually hits everybody. It's fucking fantastic. So just to show how fucking crazy I am, I try to own every version of Class of 1999. Everything from the UK DVD to this Japanese DVD to the American DVD to the Rhone Blu-ray.
Wow.
From Germany that doesn't have, it just has a German track. The VHS tape, and of course the new Blu-ray that's out from Cult Classic Collections.
How's that one look?
It's they couldn't get a print. They did an up conversion on the DVD.
Okay, never mind then.
Relax. It looks good. Of course, I talk about this film all the time, so I'm obviously not going to spend a lot of time on it. Next up, The Shining, for obvious reasons. This film got me in, like, really into film and wanted me, it made me want to become a filmmaker, just because I love the writing, the acting, the music, the shots. It is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. It's such a beautiful, beautiful horror film, and I know this movie's like supposed to be like super duper feels long. I don't feel that way. I feel it's short. Next up and final, Assault on Precinct 13. This is my favorite Carpenter flick. Yes, even over Halloween and The Thing and stuff. Assault on Precinct 13, John Carpenter's, not his first feature because I think it was Dark Star. This is his second film before he did Halloween. This is a movie I still get really teary-eyed and close to crying in, is when Bishop...
You don't cry. You have no soul.
That's not very nice. It's the part where Napoleon and Bishop, after they do all the bullshit down in the tunnel, the cops come in and they start to put the handcuffs on Napoleon, and then Bishop's like, "No, get off of him!" And I'm like, they're friends! And then he says to Napoleon, he's like, "It would be a privilege to walk out of here with you." And they start walking together, and then the theme song comes on, and it's like, God damn. And then it doesn't show them walking out, it just shows them walking past the camera, and it fades. Like, Napoleon's going to fucking jail, but for a few hours that night, they set aside their differences from being a cop to a criminal. Even though Napoleon's like one of these guys, you never know what he did. But obviously he's not a terrible person. And he saves the day. He's one of the reasons why they walk out of there alive. And I love films where people have to put aside their differences to overcome a big obstacle. And they just get together and they fucking kick ass. And that's what Assault on Precinct 13 is. Also, great soundtrack. Fucking Carpenter, of course, is the shit.
Hey guys, this is Ron Compostine here in the Seattle airport. On my way over to Iceland, and I'm going to go check out a 70 millimeter screen of Poltergeist while I'm in London. So yeah, I'll have to report back on that. But I would say, I mean, there's been so many movies that you guys have referred me to, but I would have to say the number one would be Blood Rage. When I heard Arrow was released, man, I didn't know anything about it. And after hearing Brad talk it up so much, it was probably one of my best film discoveries of that year. And also, I would have to say The Video Dead too. That's probably my favorite zombie film after watching that, because it's just so different and more kind of like a smaller little film, and that paired with TerrorVision on the Scream Factory disc was pretty sweet. So cool. Well, I've enjoyed the show these last 3 years, and hopefully there's another 3 more. Talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.
All right, we are bringing Josh Obershaw in to do the news. Josh, what is up?
Hey, it's good to be here. And it's good to be here with all you people that are watching us right now. I'm not nervous at all.
It's just YouTube. Who cares?
Exactly. We're not going to be judged by this.
Yeah, not at all. All right, man. What have you got for us? I haven't been paying attention at all to anything that's been announced, so I'm relying on you for the information.
Well, it's actually been a pretty light news week. Not a whole lot of stuff going on. Probably the biggest thing that came out was we've got 2 more Universal Monsters coming to Blu-ray. The complete legacy collections of Dracula and the Mummy are going to be released on May 16th. Not a whole lot as far as like new special features or anything like that. I think the only new one that I found was a commentary by the screenwriter of Dracula Dead and Loving It. Yeah, and just like the other 2 Blu-ray collections that came out last year, which were Frankenstein and the Wolfman, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein are going to be on both of these collections. So that's pretty much the only thing that are new. And, of course, you know, it comes out on May 16th, just in time for the reboot with Tom Cruise. So...
So I have such mixed feelings about a Tom Cruise Mummy movie. But then again, the last reboots or the last remakes or whatever weren't that amazing either. But we're gonna see a lot of Tom Cruise running from a mummy, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I guess probably the end of next year we're gonna get those last 2 legacy collections, which are The Invisible Man and The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So probably about October, November. So moving right along, we've got a couple of updates from Scorpion Releasing. This is not like official or anything yet, but I think they're going to be putting out another one of Dario Argento's later films. This one's called Sleepless. It's from 2001, and apparently it stars Max von Sydow. We don't have any other information other than that. Scorpion updated their cover photo with the poster from Sleepless, so that's pretty much as good a hint as you're going to get, at least for right now. And they're also, next month, they're also putting out a movie called Saint Jack. This is from director Peter Bogdanovich. And it's going to have an interview with Bogdanovich, a commentary. There's going to be an interview with Roger Corman. And it's going to be limited to 1,500 copies. And you can order that through Ronin Flix or Screen Archives and Diabolic DVD.
I've noticed that they don't put everything over onto the Ronin Flix site. Like, there's certain things, like I think was it Hands of Steel you have to get directly from Code Red. They're not putting that on the Ronin Flix site. Have they?
I thought I did see Hands of Steel on the Ronin site. I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay, so then I wonder if they're just there's just some sort of delay. I'll have to check that out.
Probably.
Because I'd rather buy from them, because I tested out and they seem pretty dialed in. It's easy to order. I think the shipping's either free or it's relatively, cheap. And it was just easier than going through that big cartel site. So I'll have to check that out.
That's true.
Not that I need to buy anything else.
Yeah, same here. Oh, they got Scorpion has another one coming out soon called Leonore, Mistress of the Devil. This co-stars Ornella Moody. People obviously know from Flash Gordon. And it has a score by Ennio Morricone, which is fun. And I don't see a release date on this yet. Well, I never see a release date for a lot of these Scorpion and or Code Red titles. So just keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah. They just pop up.
Yeah, I believe the Cine Family actually showcased this one not too long ago. The Cine Family's theater in Los Angeles. They play a lot of indie and retro cult stuff. And it's a great hangout. So that's it from Scorpion Releasing. We got some news about Train Spotting 2, or T2 Train Spotting.
Just call it Train Spotting 2. We get the picture.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke or what, but Sony Pictures Home Entertainment UK, that's coming out on Blu-ray on June 5th. I saw the trailer for it. I'm really, really excited for the sequel to Trainspotting, even though it's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's pretty quick because I just saw a theatrical trailer when I was at when I went to go see John Wick 2. So it must be a limited theatrical run, I would guess.
I'm assuming it's probably really, really limited because that's kind of a quick turnaround. Otherwise, it's just going to be a straight-to-video release here in the States. But you think with a guy like Danny Boyle, he would get, with a little bit more clout, he can get that out in more theaters than just like a little limited run here in the States.
I don't know. You got me.
I'm not in the business. I don't make those decisions. Another quick tidbit. This is for the our UK friends and also our friends here in the States who have a region-free Blu-ray player. They're putting out a movie called Almost Human. This is not Joe Bago's alien abduction movie, which is awesome, or the TV show. This is a 1974 thriller from Umberto Lenzi. And this movie also has a score from Ennio Morricone. And Shameless are putting this out on April 24th. So if you can get your hands on that one, keep an eye out for it. I've never seen this movie. I'm a little ignorant when it comes to Umberto Lenzi, unless it's, Cannibal Ferox. I think that's one of the few films of his I've seen.
Yeah.
And last but not least, like I said, short news week. We got an update on the 2006 movie. Wait, was it 2006 or 2007? Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. There's going to be a 10th anniversary Blu-ray of that coming out. I could have sworn it was 2006. I
think it's 2006.
Right. Well,
I don't know. It's one of those movies that hit. I think it hit festivals. It was independent, so it kind of hit the festival thing, and then it kind of went around and eventually got a home video or a DVD release. So I think 2016 or 2016, 2006.
Understood. But,
what year is it? Where am I? What's going on?
I don't even know anymore myself. There's going to be a 10th anniversary screening at South by Southwest, and Scott Glosserman let everyone know that there's also going to be a 10th anniversary Blu-ray. There's a possible deleted scene and a possible commentary because there was no commentary recorded. Well, he didn't record a commentary. I don't know if there is a commentary on the DVD because I never owned it. I just rented it once, but it's a really, really good movie. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
And Anchor Bay put it out on DVD, so I'm assuming they're the ones that are going to be putting out the Blu-ray. But we don't have all the details just yet. Glosserman said he was going to announce some other bonus features at the screening, so we'll get some more by the time South by Southwest rolls around.
Okay. Very cool.
That's it.
Anything else, or that's it?
No.
All right, Josh, thanks, man. We'll do this again next week.
Later. Bye-bye.
Bring Derek in. Dude, I've been drinking since 6 because I've been nervous, and now I just drank. I mean, that was a Henry's hard soda, but I'm drinking this whole fucking bottle of New Glarus. That is my third Henry's hard soda. This is my fourth glass. Nope. Second glass of this serendipity. Bring Derek in. Bring Derek in.
All right. Derek, you're up.
Yo!
What up, guys? Hey, so congrats on the 3-year anniversary.
Oh,
Just wanted to start that off. You guys are kicking ass.
Thanks for being part of the Screamcast family.
Definitely. I just wanted to, thank you guys for letting me come in, write for the site a little bit. Definitely helped me out, get on to a few film festival press creds because of that, which is awesome.
Right.
Definitely
And you do a good
keep that
job,
going.
Derek.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully a little bit more often. But anywho, so yeah, you guys asked for a movie that you guys turned us on to, something that we're
Do you have a
really
Wolfman
into.
shirt on?
Wolfman Cometh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured it kind of fit. But
We love that
anywho,
guy.
so Yeah, a movie that it turned me on to. Just talking about the burning. No, I'm not.
The epic episode that's a repeat of tonight.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping
that's a
with.
repeat of that night. I don't know.
Yeah. No, what I did want to talk about was Dead Next Door, J.R. Bookwalters. That episode, actually, you had a couple episodes with Bookwalter, which were pretty awesome early on, and that really got me gung-ho to check out his stuff, because I thought I had checked out The Dead Next Door before, but never really had. So once the Blu-ray came out, I was really happy to get a hold of that, and it's a freaking awesome movie, as you guys know. So
did you watch Robot Ninja?
Yeah, yes, so yes. And thanks for, no longer being on Scream Factory's teat. And
we were never on Scream Factory's teat. Never. I reject that claim.
Apparently not. They just told us to fuck off.
But definitely thanks for branching out and really getting out there. Definitely introducing us to a lot of things. So, I mean, you guys did that cult epic stuff. That was a great intro to that aspect. Definitely, Justin Beam was a cool dude that you guys got on pretty early, so that was really cool. So yeah, you just have opened up a couple of pretty cool avenues for me. So thank you very much.
Very nice. All right, man.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
being a listener, and then becoming part of the family. And becoming part of our daily lives. That's how that happened.
Heck yeah.
Buddy.
Derek started out as just a listener, and then he became part of the family. That's how this works in here. So,
all right. Well, you gents have a wonderful rest of your evening, and enjoy. Don't go too burning episode on me, Brad.
I keep telling him to slow down.
Actually do, because I want to listen to it later on. So, all right.
All right, Derek. Thanks, man.
You guys have a great one. Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Thanks, Derek. Oh, he's gone. All right. I love Derek. He's good. Francisco Laranjo. I hope I pronounced your name right. Man, I sound like Sean over here. Who is like Mr. Skulls, I think, 666 or something like that. This is his email. He says, like I wrote earlier, I won't be able to be there for the live recording. But this is one movie that had been sitting in my shelves for a while in one of my honey holes. I like calling it a honey hole. In one of my honey holes, and I never paid much attention until listening to one of your back episodes. And if I'm not mistaken, Brad did mention, this is my movie, did mention The Woods by Lucky McKee being an awesome underseen movie. So obviously the next day I did stop there and picked it up and watched it, and it was everything that Brad said about it. And like him, I would like less CGI and more practical effects in the film, but it's still pretty effectively done. Thank you for your guys, all your effort and hard work, and always looking forward to the next episode. Thanks, Francisco.
Bam.
Francisco. So thanks, Francisco. Yes, I love The Woods. That was kind of a newer film for me. It was one of the Lucky McKee movies that kind of slipped under my radar. But I agree with him. It's such a great movie. The CGI at times kills it, but dude, that's some really great CGI for such a low budget movie. But yeah, thanks, Francisco, for listening. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for almost coming on the show, and thanks for your email. Next email. All right, this is from Dustin Pace, who is also Duddy in Motion on Twitter, I believe. Man, I've got a really good memory for being a little tipsy. Duddy in Motion. He's got some great fucking art. I own a few pieces actually up here, The Witch and The Guest, and I'm going to order his John Wick print, and I think I have Friday the 13th Part 8 and Sleepaway Camp. He's got this really weird, like, I don't know, super off-kilter art that he has, but it's really, really great. He does, like, I don't even know what to call it. He's just got a weird vision, but I love it so much. It's just so bizarre. So check out his art, buy his shit. He sells it for super cheap, too. But yeah, he's a great artist. But anyways, his film, he couldn't join us tonight. He's one of the newer listeners, I think. I don't know. He came up on our radar, like, I don't know, a few months ago. I don't know how long he's been listening to the show, but he's cool as fuck. So his was Don't Go Into the Woods, which I'm like, what? Nice. I love Don't Go Into the Woods too. It's such a great memory. I told that story about my mother and Don't Go Into the Woods, which is a very memorable moment. My mom's watching. Mother, I don't know if you're watching because she's obviously probably watching, and I'm cussing up a storm. Oh my god.
Oh man.
That's just how things. That's how things roll up in here. But anyways, I don't want to ruin Dustin's shit. So he wrote "Don't Go Into the Woods." I love how much it feels like the filmmaker didn't entirely know how to structure a film. It's so wonderfully weird. Also, Roller Skating Girl is the true MVP of that film.
Agreed.
So Don't Go Into the Woods is a Brian. God damn it, I'm drunk. What's his name? Not Brian James. God, James Bryan. Jesus fucking Christ. He's made some weird and awful and awfully great movies. But yeah, Don't Go to the Woods is super weird. I mean, we have an Ewok-looking type killer person. We have the worst soundtrack possibly for a slasher film that sounds like a bunch of bells and whistles and shit going off. But yes, it's a great little flick. Fucking unmute Mike. He's in this show anyway. Mike's been on the show too many goddamn times anyway. Is there no fucking video for Mike Delaney?
Nope.
Yeah, you're not pulling up video for me. No video.
Oh my god.
Show's over.
Dude, you know how many girls you're gonna upset tonight?
Just you, baby. Just
be
you.
the most the best looking dude on the show.
No, come on. Sean's the best in tandem.
What?
Like, you're pretty close. That means, at the side by side in tandem. Kind of in tandem.
I know what it means.
But Sean's
kind of like.
No, you don't know what it means. Why?
All right. So what's your flick, Mike D?
Well, I was gonna come on and start giving some shit about maybe picking being snarky, picking a Marvel movie I never saw and saying that Sean introduced me to it.
Right,
I was thinking about
thinking
about making some kind of We Bought at a Zoo something. I don't know, but
great movie.
Before I get to my flick, I do want to say how much you guys, not just as a podcast or part of the horror film podcasting family, but just as upstanding dudes. You guys are kind of there for me in real life, in a great piece of entertainment in my life. But I deeply, Brad, I believe it or not, if you want to have one up on Sean, I appreciate Brad's. You guys, congratulations on the 3 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Did I ever tell the story of how a fun little roundabout?
Go ahead. Tell us. Tell the audience.
No, this goes back years, maybe Wilson, just because I like his appearance in movies. But he introduced me to the fact that Pat Healy, and I was a big fan of Pat's, so I started following his account. Huge fan of Pat's, and then I saw that he was going to pop on, and I had no idea what that was, but I followed Rupert Pupkin. And I stumbled the time you guys had Pat, and that was one of your earlier episodes, maybe
Halloween 3
episode.
Yeah,
number 3.
It was super early. It was like our first month or second month.
Oh, Halloween 3.
I think that was his episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been listening ever since then. Love you guys. But my flick, I got to go fast because it looks like my battery's running down. My flick it was back on the Justin Beam episode last summer. Brad mentioned a third Tales from the Crypt movie. And I went home. I told my wife, I'm like, I told you there was a fucking third Tales. We got it from Voodoo that night. Yeah, Ritual. Oh yeah, I didn't even say the fucking name of it. Gray, Tim Curry. It's a lot great, but what was really cool about that moment was it totally validated this thought, this foggy memory I had of this movie that may or may not have existed, and I wouldn't have even thought to look it up. I was thinking like, oh, maybe I confused it with that shitty Creepshow 3, but no, there really is a third Tales from the Crypt movie, and it's a lot. Who is it? Craig Schaefer's in there. It's a remake of Val Lewton's "I Walked with a Zombie" of all things. It doesn't have. Oh yeah. It doesn't have John Kassir. It's still a lot of fun. It's in the vein of movies, but not all the over the top camp that those first two movies had. It's more straightforward voodoo.
I love it.
I'm dying over here, guys. I gotta
awesome.
Go cook some more curry chicken. I love you guys. Brad, I get to Hawaii on the Splat House. We'll figure that out.
Yes.
Sean,
Do it.
I'll see you during our season, and you guys can talk about that whenever you like. All right. Love you guys.
All right, man.
See ya. Love you, dude.
So that was Mike Delaney, the Splat House podcast.
He didn't plug his show. How crazy is that shit?
Splathouse.com is Mike Delaney's podcast. So check that out. It's way better produced than ours. None of this crazy glitchy bullshit.
Crazy.
They actually have like a producer, and they do like skits and everything. It's crazy. I get jealous and I cry myself to sleep every now and then. Andrew, what's up, man? Thanks for being so patient.
First, congratulations on the 3 years.
Thanks.
And
thank you, Andrew.
The movie I discovered through you guys is Masks, which Brad talked about a bunch, and then you guys had the Real Gore guys on to talk about those releases. It's just I've always loved giallo films, and hearing about one that I've never seen, I was curious, tried to track it down, could only find his first feature, Tears of Kali, on YouTube. Yeah. Enjoyed that quite a bit, so when it was ready to be released, I bought it from Diabolic DVD, and it's been one of my favorites.
Nice.
Only took like 4 years for that film to come out. Jesus. But yeah, thanks, man. Like, it's really great. Well, Andrew, thank you for listening to the show. Thanks for watching Masks. Thanks for did you get that like Suspiria vibe while watching it? Like, it's very much.
I did.
Yeah, it's got a huge Suspiria vibe. I mean, it's kind of like even kind of a remake of fucking Suspiria. But, cool, man. Anything, like, any other movies? Any other things?
Well, I mean, The Fan, Der Fan, that was one that you guys talked about that I bought.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie. I watch it, like, almost every year.
Yeah,
at least
that's
once.
A great one.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of those that I'm so happy I discovered through the show. Like, I most of these I discover, like, because of the show. Like, Brad's seen way more than me, and a lot of these I'm just discovering for the first time, just like everyone else. So, very cool, man.
And thanks again for the beer, man. It's doing a number on me tonight.
Oh,
no problem.
Andrew's the one that's getting you all drunk tonight.
Yeah, man.
I see. Okay.
Well, it seems like I'm the only listener who lives in Wisconsin.
Now it's time to let's bring Dick on in here.
Oh, yeah. How do you say his last name? Grunert? Dude, Dick Grunert's a funny dude. He has a short film. I can't remember the title because I'm a little drunk, but it's really fucking good. The Trap! That's Dick Grunert's short film. Watch The Trap. It's on probably Vimeo or something. It's really good and funny. I like it a lot.
Dick, you there?
Hey!
Yes!
Dick, yeah!
I'm on my phone, you guys. I'm on my phone, not my computer, because the plugin wouldn't load. So, sorry about that. What? God, there's nothing worse than a mute dick, too.
Dude, you're telling me. Dude, I know, right? I hate when that shit happens.
Jesus. Well, how's it going, guys? Congrats on 3 years. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. I'll make it quick. And Andrew said he's in Wisconsin, right? I'm from Wisconsin, so you have two Wisconsin fans.
Yeah, but you don't live in Wisconsin to get me this beer, though, do you, Dick?
Sorry, no. Sorry, Brad. Okay, my movie. I'm going way back to episode 10.
Oh,
damn.
Death Valley.
Oh, shit. That's the Morgan Peter Brown episode.
I love Death Valley.
Nope.
I'd never seen it before you guys had talked about it.
Maybe that was the first Brian Sauer episode. Or one of the...
Yeah.
When we brought him in as what do we call ourselves? Hosts? Yeah. He brought in as a co-host.
Yes. So Death Valley, awesome. It was way more. I don't know why I always thought it was kind of like a PG, kid-friendly horror movie, but their first kill is so violent and there's nudity, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So it's because of you guys that I went out and bought that.
Yes, dude, it's always been a big favorite of mine too. I love that movie. And it was one of those things, I guess, like, even in my mind, since I saw it when I was younger, I thought it was kind of like a PG-13 like horror film, just because, you know, the little kids in it and shit. But no, I mean, it's got some violent parts in it. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
great. And your show is great, guys. I listen to it on my way into work. All the new episodes every week. I'm in the Cartoon Network conference room right now.
Oh.
Yeah. You need to tell people that you do fucking write some of these cartoon episodes for
Adventure Time.
Yeah.
I was going to say Adult Swim.
Canceled. Thanks for bringing it up, Brad.
Oh man.
What?
Oh
God. I pulled a Sean.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, you guys, I love the show. I listen to it mostly to hear Sean butcher names.
Yeah.
And I scream at the radio. No, it's like this.
Classic Sean.
Yeah, yes, but it's awesome. Keep it up, guys. Can't wait for the next 3 years.
All right. Thanks, Dick, man. I appreciate it.
No, 3 years. Oh, my God. I'll be so drunk on that 6th year. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, man.
All right. Thanks, Dick.
All right. Take it easy.
Let's bring Luis in here. Luis, you there?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
So you've been listening for a while, man. You engage quite a bit on the Twitters and everything. So we really, really appreciate that you listen and all the back and forth. It's really awesome.
100%.
You know, I try my best, especially announcing like stuff for you guys to be updated on.
Yeah, we
I think
appreciate
I've listened to the show like probably like a year and a half or more, I believe. So it's pretty dope.
Oh man, my dog's going crazy.
Wow.
We appreciate it, man.
You know me, I hate dogs. I love cats.
Well, I mean, you seem pretty up on all the releases and stuff. Is there a movie you've discovered through the show specifically, or?
There's two. It's Everybody Wants Some that Brad mentioned so many fucking times that I actually bought, but it took like 3 months for me to get to it, and I actually love the fuck out of it. Yeah,
it's so good, man. It's so good.
And then I think the first recommendation I took a risk on you guys was the Max Landis' American Ultra.
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys were talking about how good it was and all this stuff, and I was like, I've been reading it's pretty whack, but I took a chance. You guys didn't disappoint. Love the shit out of that.
Yeah, man, he gets a bad rap. I mean, I understand why, but like, I don't know. So, like, him and his writing are two different things. It seems, you know. So, all right, man. Well, you know, that's any older films that we've introduced you to, since you picked two modern films. You're the first person to pick a modern film. Well, I guess The Mask isn't a modern film, but in vein of like older flicks. But anything like older that we've told you about?
Probably everything from Arrow that I'm kind of iffy on buying.
Yeah.
So it's like everything.
Never be iffy on Arrow. That's the rule.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, they have a pretty solid track record for sure. I have to back off on the Arrow this year. I'm like only buying the things that I really, really, really want. But they're getting one of those where I need to just almost set aside like an Arrow budget, like just for them.
Very expensive to keep up with the Arrow.
You can't. Someone was talking to me on Twitter the other day about just everything, like keeping up with all these releases, and I've noticed like the past 3 years since I've started, you know, it was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll buy every Scream Factory. That's doable. And then all of a sudden I discover Arrow, and then Arrow comes to the US, and then through Brad I discover Vinegar Syndrome, and they, you know, start blowing up. And then you got more from Synapse, and then more, then Severance starts stepping up their game. It's like all these companies, Blue Underground comes back and starts kicking ass. I mean, it's like all these labels are just, they make it impossible for a horror fan or a B-movie fan to buy everything. So it's like I had to start actually like really budgeting my money, or else I would be completely broke.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Even with Vestron Video, it's pretty hard to keep up with everything you're buying.
Yeah. Yep.
Same with me.
Yep.
Some of them get sacrificed until next month and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Put them on the want list. All right, Luis, thanks, man. Thanks for listening so much. Thanks for engaging with the podcast so much. We really appreciate it.
No problem, guys. Love you guys.
All right, so let's do your top 10, bro.
All right, top 10. Now, these are like my top 10 is like top 10 movies that I've consistently rewatched that I love. So there's a lot of, you can say there's certain things that could be nostalgic, but they're like legit movies I love. So shut the fuck up about that. But these are movies that I probably watched the most in my life.
Dude, I can do your top 10 for you. Like I bet I could name at least 2 films: Top Gun and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe like a Star Wars flick. I don't know. So,
yeah. Here we go.
So
all right.
3.
So here's my top 10. Yeah. I mean,
Andrew Bish said Pompeii number 1.
No, Pompeii number 1. The first Pompeii movie. Yeah. I mean, I was raised in the 80s, born in 77, raised through the 80s. There's a lot of movies that I loved younger and I still watch today and still love. So.
Oh. Yeah, I unmuted myself.
Yeah, man. You made it.
I did.
Everybody, this is BJ.
What up?
Say hi, Zach.
Yeah.
What's up?
He can't hear you because I have my headphones in.
Right. We were really excited.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hi.
So
I...
No, go ahead.
It's just like actual podcast recording where we just go, on top of each other.
I know.
No, you go. So I just wanted to clarify, is it my top 10 just me personally of all time, or is it my top 10 that I've discovered through the show?
No,
you personally.
Me personally, top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's full of Spielberg and George Lucas, so...
No, of course it is.
I bet
BJ,
all of Brad's are like shit no one's ever heard of.
Pretty much.
No, I had some on there.
Brad, show your Blu-rays off like that one YouTuber guy that's always going ooh, like showing off all his unwrapped Blu-rays that he watched. Oh, hold on. One more time. Do it. One more time.
Look at all this shit I got for free. Oh no, I dropped Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Motherfucker getting a bunch of shit for free.
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
So here we go. I'm gonna rattle mine are things that everyone's seen, but this is what I told Brad what I was trying to say was, these are like top 10 flicks that if you said, all right, you're gonna be thrown on this deserted island, you need 10 movies to bring with you that you're gonna watch the rest of your life. That's how I judge like my top 10.
Who the fuck said that? No one said that shit.
No, that's how I judge my own top 10s. I these are things that I can constantly rewatch. Right. I've rewatched a shit ton of times. All right, so here and things that
Star
kind of
Wars
formed.
Episode 1 through 7.
No, yeah, and things that
Rogue
formed
One.
my movie watching and my interest and my taste. Okay, so here we go. You already said 2 of them. You said like Brad earlier guessed what 2 of them would be. One's Top Gun, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. I can put that on. I will watch that shit all the way through, no matter what, anytime. The second one was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love that movie. I always love that movie. It's one that I can rewatch all the time.
But whatever.
Yeah, sorry, Brad. So those are two of there, and these are in no particular order. Next up is RoboCop from Paul Verhoeven, which is classic.
Okay.
But this is one that, like, when I was younger, I couldn't watch R-rated movies. So on like a bus ride to a field trip, one of my buddies, who his parents let him watch R-rated movies, the whole bus trip for like an hour, he totally dictated the entire film of RoboCop to me. So in my head, I had an idea of what RoboCop was based on this like 8 or 10-year-old kid when I was that age, basically telling me the entire movie. I eventually got to see it. I think it was probably at his house or something. And I love that film. It made me fall in love with Paul Verhoeven. I started tracking down his other films and things went from there. But, still, like, there's no, like, the goriness of it, the violence, the social commentary, like, all those things kind of like are a perfect storm that I haven't really seen in any other film since then. So it's still a favorite of mine. Next up is Aliens, of course, James Cameron. I prefer this to, like, like, the original Alien is probably a superior film, but Aliens is one that I can rewatch more and more, and I love it.
Aliens is better. Aliens is better.
Okay, alright, cool, we agree there. I discovered James Cameron through Aliens, and then of course with Terminator 2 and all those other films, like, up till Avatar, like, he's been a favorite filmmaker of mine. Avatar's, like, okay and all. But, like...
No, it's not.
It's okay. But, I mean, movies like The Abyss...
I bet you really like Dances with Wolves.
I do like Dances with Wolves. It's not my top 10,
Avatar.
but I like it. Pretty much. But Avatar, like, to me, was like one that I can watch with the kids and get them into kind of the sci-fi stuff.
No,
it's like a introduction. But and Avatar's not good. But I miss the old James Cameron. Like, I want the old James Cameron back. Next up is Joe Dante's The Burbs. And this is a Tom Hanks movie. This has been one of my favorite comedies. Selection. This movie I've watched it so many times when I was younger. I remember, like, if a movie was a favorite of mine, I would dub the VHS tape and always have it. And, like, through the summer, I would rewatch all these movies. Well, I guarantee you there was a week or two that I watched The Burbs constantly. So it's good. Like, it's a fun, dark comedy. Bless you, Zach. Brad. Or was that Zach? Is that Zach who sneezed? Bless you, Zach. On the one in the pottery and the so The Burbs is great. I just rewatched the Arrow Blu-ray of this, and I guess it is out on domestic Blu-ray as well. No special features or anything, but the comedy in it, the timing, Tom Hanks is great. Just the cast of characters and the dark turn that it starts to spiral into is just fantastic. So if you've never given The Burbs a chance, definitely give it a chance. It's really good. Next up, I'm not going to say anything else about it, but Empire Strikes Back. I don't know. It's my favorite Star Wars film, and exactly. Next up is the film Amadeus.
I love Amadeus.
They're like, it's like a bioepic, a Mozart bioepic, or, but there's a dark edge to it that I love. And doesn't he, like, he slits his throat or hand, or wrist or something. Like, there's a dark thing when he tries to commit suicide, and he's basically retelling his life. And, I don't know, it's just always been a favorite of mine. Like, when I was in, like, going to college, and I went to some sort of film class, and we watched Amadeus in that, and I'd already seen it, like, a handful of times. But it's one of those films that I can always rewatch. The music's great, the acting's great, and I don't know, it's I don't even know who directed it. God damn it! Is that
drunk as fuck right now, dude?
Anyway, Amadeus is great. The combination, well, I don't even care about the awards. Like, the combination of, like, there is a dark underlying edge to it, because
a dark lore.
Because it's about the jealousy of his rival. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he's telling the story about Mozart. Anyway, it's great. Next up is the movie Glory. It's a Civil War film about the
the Civil War movie.
The Civil War movie about the black regiment, the black I don't even know the term, the team, team. No, the regiment. I don't know, but that movie made not regime. That was
a joke.
I think it's regiment. Yeah, you're right.
Regiment. I always love like historical war stuff. This one, like with the context of the black soldiers in the Civil War, Denzel Washington's performance in it, like made me fall in love with Denzel Washington. It's directed by Edward Zwick. Like I think he's always pretty solid, but for me, I think this is my favorite film of his. But just the whole thing, like from the soundtrack to the acting in it and just the emotional, like, connection that I had with the film. Like, I don't know, like, I loved it. Like, that's one of the few, like, I was pretty young when it came out and I was, like, crying by the end of the film. So it's pretty great. It's one of those that I mean, I can't wait till my daughter's studying Civil War so I can bring this movie up and we can watch it again. But it's one like I can watch anytime. I bought the soundtrack and just consistently would listen to the soundtrack. We
watched that in my high school history class for the Civil War.
Oh, nice. It's good, man. It's really good.
Yeah, I think I saw it in high school. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about my love of Mel Gibson. Braveheart is in my top 10. I love that film so.
This is like Mel Gibson fucking podcast.
I know. Braveheart is so good.
Mel Gibson filmography.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I adore that film. It's, I don't know. From the music to everything, it's pretty fantastic. I don't know.
Do you have
I love
sex to the soundtrack?
Do you paint your ears blue?
Yeah. 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 I always wonder, like, if I saw it for the first time today, if I still love it as much, but I adore it. I recently watched the Blu-ray and I still love it. So I don't know. I love it. I think it's a great film. And finally, Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain. I know when this came out, it got
like The Fountain.
Shit on.
Everything going on about that one.
I love The Fountain. Like, I want Darren Aronofsky to do more shit like that.
All right, what was your first few? Raiders of the Lost Ark and
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Top Gun, RoboCop, Aliens, The Burbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And finally, The Fountain. The Fountain, like, is probably the most artsy film on my list, but I feel like a lot of it, a lot of these movies, it does boil down to, like, a combination of things. The special effects, the story, and the soundtrack. If the score, like, I think every single one of these I've bought the score to and would re-listen to like crazy. Like, for me, that's a huge bonus is if the score is really good. But from the score of The Fountain, the different timelines, the different stories, the way that's handled, the way he did all, I think, practical effects on The Fountain, and that's like magnificent in of itself. They did a lot of like oils and water and the camera tricks like that. Like it made me fall in love with like what Darren Aronofsky can do, and then he did Noah, and I had higher hopes for Noah, but that's my top 10 of all time. Black Swan is fucking awesome. Yeah, Aronofsky's great.
It was a surprising list.
That's my top 10.
I
always feel like I'm getting made fun of. But
it was a very good list, though, Sean. I was pleasantly surprised because you did have some crazy shit in there that I would never expect, and it's pretty diverse. So
awesome.
I give you that.
I appreciate it.
But not one horror film.
No. No. But the thing is, like, movies like RoboCop and Aliens.
Well, you're kicked off the Screamcast. You can start the Mel Gibson podcast.
movies like RoboCop and Aliens brought me into horror. Dude, you guys forget.
Like, not the remake of RoboCop, but have you ever watched the RoboCop the remake?
It's bullshit.
No, not the remake of RoboCop.
Yeah, okay.
Not
Like the YouTube one where they shoot all their dicks off?
Yes. Yes, I have seen that, and that's amazing.
I'm sorry, that's the only way I could describe.
No, that's amazing.
It's just a dick shooting.
Incredible. I showed my wife it, and I was laughing, and she looked at me like I was just like from another planet. She was like, "You think this is funny?" I'm like, "He shot himself in the dick." It's incredible. Fantastic. What I'm saying was, before you interrupted me rudely, Brad, was movies like RoboCop and Aliens helped usher me into horror, because you guys forget that I was very, repressed or held back from watching horror. I thought that I would get like possessed by a devil or a demon and go crazy if I watched horror. I didn't start watching horror until like the end of high school and into college. So all these movies helped kind of build, especially the early movies. Raiders of the Lost Ark has some horror elements in it too. It's like all that helped kind of build a little stepping stones or ladder into horror. And if we did top 10 horror, like it'd be a whole different list for sure. Like Nightmare on Elm Street would definitely be in there. That's predictable, but that would be in there for sure. So I mean, I didn't watch Nightmare on Elm Street until I was a senior in high school. But I was familiar with it, and I saw all the commercials.
Oh god, I can't pronounce the last name. He's from Australia or some shit. He's gonna be badass. All Australians are badass. What time is it? What time in Australia? What time is it in Australia? I gotta look it up.
The Terrible Aussie? Yeah?
Yeah, man, that's gotta be him.
Here we go. Okay.
Oh, it's only 2:00 there. Give me a fucking break.
See, he's in the afternoon. He's on his lunch break.
What's up, man?
Not too bad, guys. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. Just got the day off today, so I'm just at home at the moment.
I know I'm watching this bullshit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just, I actually... But to be fair, I know what to expect every time when I listen to you guys on the show, on your podcast, so I know what to expect, so...
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you guys' imaginations.
Touche.
Yeah.
Well, you've interacted with the show quite a bit as well. You're one of you're one of the few that interact quite a bit, and we really appreciate it. So I want to say that.
Oh, well, thanks for that, guys. I mean, I've been listening to your show for probably back when you guys first started, really. Probably not the very first episode, but one of the ones probably a couple episodes in, and as soon as I started listening, I thought, okay, I can listen to this, and I've been listening to all of them ever since. Pretty much any time you guys put them online, I pretty much download it right away.
Nice.
Well, appreciate it, man.
If I've ever done an Australian accent, I'm really sorry.
Just don't even try. I mean, I heard your Gerard Butler accent, and you sounded more like Groundskeeper Willie than Gerard Butler.
Oh, man.
Just don't even try to attempt an Aussie accent. Only a few people can do it. So
noted.
Cool, man.
Yes.
Hey, so what's a film that you love that we
I was sort of thinking about it because I had a few, but I would say one that's a bit more recent is The Devil's Candy. That was you talked about that on I think it was it a South by Southwest episode?
Yeah.
Because I can't remember.
Fantastic Fit 2015 or something.
Yeah, okay. Well, I sort of heard when you were discussing it, I thought, okay, this sounded really interesting. But then when I sort of looked it up afterwards, I didn't realize it was directed by Sean Byrne, who made probably one of my favorite Aussie horror films, The Loved Ones. And as soon as I found that this was his follow-up, I knew I had to see it right away. So basically, 2 years later, it finally was playing at the Melbourne International Film Festival. And I thought, you know what, I got to get tickets for this. I was there the first night that it played, and Sean Byrne was actually there doing a Q&A, which was really good. And, I was stunned. I thought, okay, this would be a good film, but, man, it was but it was fucking awesome, guys. It was just awesome. Like, I didn't expect it to be as great as it was, but yeah, I absolutely loved it.
I still need to watch The Loved Ones. That's on my list to watch now. Now I need to watch The Loved Ones.
Man.
I have the Blu-ray. I finally imported it from the UK, so I'm all ready to go. I just gotta watch it. It's one of those that came out only on DVD in the States. It's like, really? Like, these only DVD releases of new films piss me off. Stupid.
Like, it took like 2-3 years to actually get out to your side of the world, from what I remember, because it was like released here in 2009 and didn't get out over to the US till like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might seem longer. I think it was longer than that, because I know that there is All the Boys Love Mandy Lane and The Loved Ones I had to import from the UK on Blu-ray, and I had those years before they were released over here, it seems. So, yeah.
I mean,
it's funky, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same here with All the Boys That Love Mandy Lane as well. We actually got that within the year that it was supposed to be released, and it just shocked me that it didn't come out stateside until, was it like 5-6 years later or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I still have my import. I imported that from the UK. All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. I think that was the first movie I ever imported, and then I imported, what did I import next? I don't know, but that was my first taste of like importing movies, and I was hooked. And then I realized that you had to have like a region-free player, and then, it's all downhill from there.
Once I bought my own region-free player, I just never looked back after that.
Oh yeah,
just opened up a whole world of possibilities.
Yeah. If you're listening and you're still not region-free, invest in a region-free player. Seriously, you're only going to pay like maybe $30 more than a regular Blu-ray player. So you just do it. Don't even think twice. 220 Electronics.
Oh, and
they're
plus,
awesome.
You get all the Australian releases, Umbrella, because you guys kill it over there, man.
Oh yeah, like Umbrella as of late have just been killing it as of late. Like I recently bought their Punisher Blu-ray, the double pack of the Night of the Living Dead original and remake as well.
Yeah.
What else did they release?
Games recently.
Yeah, we got that. Man from Hong Kong as well. And I think we've now
triple feature in that, right?
Yeah, there's like the main feature on Blu-ray, and then the whole bunch of like other films that Brian Trenchard Smith made, like as bonus like features. And I haven't got to it just yet, but I can't wait to check it out. And I think they just now announced. I don't know if you guys covered it on the show yet. The double feature of both Electric Boogaloo and Machete Maidens Unleashed on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And then they're doing all the Fly movies, the remakes and the sequel to the remake and the originals and all the sequels. Goddamn,
that's cool.
Umbrella,
some of them that have been.
Umbrella's
Sorry,
awesome.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Umbrella's awesome. I was going to probably say it more vulgar than I should, but.
Are you going to try it with an accent?
No, man.
I actually, I kind of now curious to hear your Aussie accent now.
No,
I just want to hear.
No, it'll be, it'll probably be like Crocodile Dundee and be super offensive.
Mate.
Well,
no.
this dude
definitely say mate when he does it.
Yeah, no, it's say mate.
Mike, good night, Mike.
Well, that's not too. It's not too bad. Sounds more like when the Simpsons went to Australia, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's basically I learned my accent from Paul Hogan and Crocodile Dundee.
I think everyone did. At least everyone outside of Australia. Anyway.
No, I do like doing accents. It's to be funny, but I realize like as I listen to them, there's a lot more nuance with everyone's accent. There's the stereotypical accents, like the stereotypical Scottish. There's the stereotypical British accent, which was butchered in Mary Poppins. And I believe a lot of people hated that. A lot of actual Brits hated that rendition or that.
Yep.
But like so, those are easy to do. But if I always have respect for somebody who can, like, especially an actor who can nail an accent and become believable. One person who did not nail an accent was Andrew Garfield and his southern accent for Hacksaw Ridge. That was god awful.
I don't know. I watched was like a video of the real Desmond Doss, and he sounded exactly like that.
Oh,
that was
did he?
the funny part, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. See if there's actual look that up.
Yeah, well, there's video of him at the end of the actual movie. Like, they interviewed him, like, a few years before his death.
Yeah, but when you're older, a little more gruff. Like, I would have to hear, like, what the young sounded like. Because Andrew Garfield's was like super... I mean, maybe that's the point, though. I mean, I love the film. Like, I love Hacksaw Ridge. But it took a little bit of getting used to, and then... But by the last half of the movie, you don't even give a shit about the accents.
You like Hacksaw Ridge?
Yeah. But it was
because I've heard that people are just like sitting there and watching it and just ridiculing and think it's a comedy.
I think it's mainly because, like, there are... Well, I guess sort of thinking about it now, I guess the first half of the movie where it sort of... it just feels very sort of romanticized and nostalgic of that sort of early 40s period. Almost kind of... I can see why some people might find that a little cheesy, but once it gets to the actual war part, like, that's where it gets full on. But there are some kind of weird, sort of gross out kind of gore gags that Mel Gibson does during that battle sequence that I could definitely see why some people get a little put off by it. Like, I would say what they are, but I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen the film yet.
I loved it. I think
it's hilarious.
Well, I think a lot of it is people just want to make fun of Mel Gibson, because of everything. And I'm, this has come up quite a bit with different directors in their past and things that, like we've talked about Jeepers Creepers 3 and all that stuff. Like Mel Gibson, I feel like
we don't say those names, Sean.
Right. But Mel Gibson's on a different level where I think like he definitely had a problem with alcoholism and he definitely did some horrible things trying to, beat up his wife or whatever, but all of that was alcohol fueled. And I've had conversations back and forth about this, but I've seen like really good people be like on a dime when they have too much to drink, become a different person and have these violent tendencies. Like, I feel like Mel Gibson, that was his crutch, as Brad pours a beer. But that was Mel Gibson's, he had an actual problem, and I feel like he actually dealt with the problem and is coming out of that. And if you look at all the movies that he's done, these two movies that came out last year, Bloodfather and Hacksaw Ridge, they had people who had struggled with alcoholism as a big theme of the film, a negative theme. And especially the father in Hacksaw Ridge, I feel like Mel Gibson was almost projecting himself through that character, in a sense. So there's like all these hints that I'm willing to not throw him under the bus. But another director that's dealt with like actual hardcore crime, like sexual crime and things like that, like that's a different story and that's another level.
Yeah.
And if to me,
and
so
also,
I can get behind a Mel Gibson comeback.
I actually do agree with you, and I think with Mel, and also you got to realize that he's also been very remorseful and very apologetic about it over the years, as well. Like compared to anyone else who is other directors out there who have done something really awful in their life and haven't really done or said anything apologetic about what they did. But yeah, I do agree with you. Like for me, I always love Mel. Like, he's a very flawed guy, but even he himself will admit that. And, he's a great actor and even greater filmmaker as well. So,
yeah.
And I do agree, like Bloodfather, you can that in a way could be, I'm going to say like Bloodfather could easily be his wrestler because there's a lot of that character kind of mirrored himself in his own life. So,
yeah, very much. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to get this guy off. He's going to replace me soon.
I know. Sorry, Brad. All right.
Fucking talking about film and shit. Jeez.
But no, man, I appreciate your insights to the show, your banter back and forth, and you're our connection to Australia. So we really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Well, thanks very much, and thanks for inviting me on the show for a brief moment. And just keep doing what you guys are doing. I mean, my bank account always suffers every time I listen to your show, but it's all worth it in the end.
Awesome.
No worries. Thanks a lot, guys.
Let's bring John on. What the hell, right?
Yeah, do it.
Hey, John, what's up?
John,
Nothing much. You realize 6:55 is different than 6:45, right?
We're trying, man. We had some technical difficulties. We're and Brad's
not when you're drinking.
Brad's drinking like a fish.
No, it's fine. I've been watching a little bit. It's been awesome. I really love the new revamped Mel Gibson and video audio problems cast.
Hey, it's a good show.
Yeah, no, it's good to see you guys doing your thing. It's been awesome listening for like 3 years. Well, I wanted to throw in that I've been, listening to the show since the first episode. I think I found Brad because of a review that he wrote for the first movie I wrote and produced, The Invoking, and he dug it, so I just reached out to say thanks for that. Is that us touching dicks? What is that?
Yes. Yeah,
do that again, Brad. Sorry, it didn't show up on the video. Show everybody what you were doing.
And then I learned after talking with him a little bit that he was starting a Scream Factory podcast, and I thought, oh, that sounds awesome. I really love Scream Factory. And so actually the movie that I learned about from you guys was actually from back in the days when you were a Scream Factory podcast, not the current iteration where you're a Scream Factory hating podcast.
Oh, we don't hate Scream Factory at all. No.
Hate him. We just don't like him a lot.
That's not true. Dude, that's not true. That's not true at all. Like I like their. We don't
hate them.
We don't hate them. They need to hire somebody to quality test to QC their shit. That's all they need to do. Someone to watch it and make sure all the audio is in sync and everything like that. But no. We don't hate them.
Yeah, it is true. I've had more replacement discs going back and forth in the mail over the last month and a half than I ever have. But they're really good about getting this stuff out there, even if there is an issue to begin with. The recommendation that you guys laid out back in episode 20 was The Final Terror. I had heard of it, and I had kind of heard that it was bad. And it was hard to find, so I never watched it. And then when the Scream Factory disc came out in conjunction with you guys, featuring it on the show along with an Andrew Davis expert, I remember that was a memorable part of the show. And so it took me a little while, but I eventually watched it, and I thought it was really cool. It's one of those movies where I think maybe the people who I used to hear saying it was bad don't like it because it's a slasher with a low body count, but it's so much more than that. Like, there are kill scenes and attack scenes. They're really intense. They're really interesting. And there's actually kind of the sense of doom over it. Like, you get the music in the movie, like most slashers from the early 80s, it'll be like a synth score and it's like stingers, things like that. But with this movie, it's like a tragedy. Like, these kids are on their little raft going down a river, and it's just like doom and gloom and big wide shots of the beautiful forest. And it actually takes the genre pretty seriously, which is interesting for a director and a lot of stars that would then never go back to it or avoid it as much as they could. So that was my first Screamcast recommendation that I watched and then loved. So thank you guys for that.
Very nice.
Where everybody lives.
Very nice. All right, John. Hey, is your movie Hunting Grounds is coming out soon, right? On DVD?
Yeah, it actually came out on VOD a couple weeks ago. You might have heard me. I was on the Screamcast a couple times as a guest back in the early days of the show, but I haven't been on for 2 years. So back when I was talking about it, it was called Valley of the Sasquatch, and it's still known by that name internationally. But if you want to see it here in the U.S., we're on VOD, and it is called Hunting Grounds, and it's a dramatic Bigfoot horror movie. And there's lots of stomping in it. So hope people check it out.
Will there be a Blu-ray somewhere, possibly overseas or domestic?
Yeah, there will be a DVD and Blu-ray domestically.
Okay.
It hasn't been announced yet. It'll come in a couple months.
John doesn't watch movies unless they're on Blu-ray.
Has to be on Blu-ray. Seriously, I bought the UK version of the Void because I can't believe that the Void is only released on DVD. What the fuck is going on? We're living in upside
it's really
down
weird.
ramp.
A lot of these companies, like indie companies domestically, will do that. Like it's a saving money tactic. Like our second movie, The Device, is still only on DVD. Actually, I think that's anywhere in the world, but it's something that I see a lot with indies domestically.
All right.
So, yeah, I know. I've heard from the distributor. I gave them so many bonus features that they're like, we're not going to be able to fit this unless there's a Blu-ray. So I said, oh, guess you have to have a Blu-ray then. So it'll happen, and it should be announced soon.
Guess we did too many special features. I don't know. Just got to get a Blu-ray. Note, if you're an indie filmmaker, shit ton of special features. Get it done. Because otherwise, I mean, they get 2 DVDs or 1 Blu-ray. Think about it.
Yeah, Sean's a cocky motherfucker tonight.
All right, John. Thanks, man. I appreciate.
Word that blue.
Appreciate it.
Word that blue.
Murray, what's up?
What's up?
Guys. How's it going?
Murray, you're the one. Okay. It's all coming together here. I apologize for my horrendous Scottish accent. There we go.
Don't apologise to me. The Scottish Parliament has got your name on record as being an enemy of the people, so you'll probably deal with them soon. No, actually, your Scottish accent wasn't that bad. It's good to ride Americans out for bad enunciations. So.
So what's up,
Have you still
Murray?
got the hat, Sean?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you still got that hat?
Oh, the hat. It's out in the garage, all because of Brad. I threw it out in the garage.
Yeah, he does. But you didn't throw it out, though. You still have it in order to maybe pimp it out one day and, like, bring it back.
It may come back in style. I don't know. I was waiting for that day.
No, it's not, dude. It was never in style. So back in style is not true. So, Murray, man, what's up? Thanks for listening.
No, it's the least I can do. You guys do a fantastic podcast, and it's a pleasure to be part of it.
Yeah, thanks, man. So what movie have we introduced you to across the seas?
Eckhart Schmidt's The Fan, or Der Fan, which, from the cover may look like some kind of cheap Flashdance knockoff, but I'm a huge fan of Pete Toombs. He's just a hugely influential author to British horror fans. His books are like required reading, especially if you grew up in kind of 90s era. So when he put that film out, it was just like, well, if he recommends it, then we'll give it a shot. But good God, that film's intense, and that's like revelation. I can't think of anything apart from like anguish like that in German cinema. And it's just an absolute terrific film. The other film, which I saw at the film festival, at the time I was like, that was either great or I'm really drunk. And at the time I thought I must be drunk. Was Der Bunker, another German film, which probably contains way too many man-on-man spankings for it to be like a proper classic, but it was absolutely phenomenal. So to hear you guys interview the director and to see just how perfectly pitched that black comedy was really kind of pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm glad we got him on the show. I don't know if a lot of people watch that movie, and if they have, I don't know if people like it, just because it's a super weird movie. I showed it for a group of friends, like maybe about 9 people they were over. And they just kind of didn't say it was good or bad. It was just kind of silence. So, yeah.
Those are always the worst screening when everyone's just quiet when the movie's done.
Yeah, I'd rather have them say, fuck you, Brad, fuck you. Or like, yeah! Not just like, all right, cool, see you guys later, But
weirdly, I wonder if you edit in when the little boy is trying to become president of the United States and do the kind of inaugurational address. Compare that to Trump's. And see what one people actually prefer.
My favorite part of Der Bunker, though, is that it opens on a shot with Klaus, and they're just doing this like on the couch for like 30 seconds and just laughing, and it does nothing for the movie, but it's just a scene, and it just fucking cracks me up. Well, thanks for listening to the show, man. Thanks for the title. Anything else that we've introduced you to? Because it's hard to probably get some of these fucking movies, right?
Sort of, yeah. The lucky thing, well, not after Brexit, but the lucky thing about being in Britain was you normally got pretty decent exchange rates and everything from around the world. And obviously, it's internet now, so pretty much everything's available for if you're willing to wait a week of postage. So it was pretty decent. And yeah, I mean, you've introduced me, especially Vinegar Syndrome stuff, which a lot of the kind of more sexy stuff, I probably wouldn't have gotten into it without you being able to actually put in context and offer some kind of insight into it. As to be said, Sean's watching of the hardcore stuff from Vinegar Syndrome is like a PG-13 version of 8mm. So saying Nicolas Cage going like absolutely hate shit, it's not just Guy going like, fast forward through that bit, can I skip that? I think I might, right.
Alright, what are you gonna do?
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Dude, were you like rehearsing that shit? That was like spot on.
No. It was just when I was watching Sean Humor, I was just like, oh god, imagine that innocent pornography. It'd be like Nicolas Cage. And Sean, you did an amazing Nicolas Cage accent. That was way better than Australian, Scottish, and Bangladeshi.
I can't do too many, but my wife always tells me I'll goof around around the house. My wife will be like, "You should do like voiceover work, or you should do something." And I'm like, "No, I would guarantee you, I would probably piss off the person that I'm imitating." So no, we won't do that in public. That's fine. I guarantee, if I work on it, I probably can get something like actually non-offensive. But
you're halfway there. Your Australian accent's really good, so we're nearly there. Anyway,
right.
Keep up the good work, guys. You do a fantastic job, and there's a lot of fans out there clearly that absolutely love your stuff.
Thanks, Murray. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
All right, we got Paul on deck and Jay on deck.
Paul Ferris?
Yes,
Paul Ferris?
Let's bring Paul in. Let's bring Paul in. He wedged just by a hair in ahead of Jay. So we bring Paul and then Jay, and then hopefully BJ joins in the meantime.
Oh my God, Jay, I'm so sorry.
Look, I'm just trying to be fair. I don't know.
All right, I got it.
Hey.
Dang, Jim Paul Ferris.
I want to say sorry to Jay. I got here a second earlier. No, this is really cool. Thank you guys for doing this for all your fans.
Man, we appreciate you joining.
We're just happy a few people listen.
Hey, you know what? I'm one of them. I'm at work. That's why I'm in my little undershirt. I apologize for that. I had to kind of take off my business wear for a minute. But no, so
get naked at work, Paul?
I'm at work right now. I'm making it happen.
You're getting naked at work, though. Is that what's happening?
Not naked. Just an undershirt. See?
No. Dang, we getting some skin. Those views just went up 5%.
So, I started when I started listening to your show, you were doing like the October, like Rocktober, whatever you called it.
Heavy metal horror. Yeah.
Heavy metal horror. And, let me tell you, I'm a late comer to horror in my life, and now I'm obsessed with it. And I had not seen like any heavy metal horror. And I discovered your show when you started talking about it. So like I discovered Rocktober Blood. I went out and bought Shock 'em Dead. Just a bunch of different crazy ones I just had a blast with. So thank you guys for doing that segment. I love that you talk about stuff that doesn't get a lot of attention, things I wouldn't have heard of. Another thing I really want to call out that I love that you did was you did a whole episode on Tex Montana, Wilson Rats. And I thought that is fucking awesome that you guys elevated that Kickstarter campaign and really helped filmmakers who, deserve to have a shot and deserve to have their voice heard. You really elevated that. And because of you guys, I contributed. And I have a DVD and I have a signed postcard.
Yeah.
And it's hanging up on movie room walls. So, and I'm like you, man. I collect movies and it's like a problem. My wife.
It's not a problem.
Big issue with the amount of money I spend. So I can totally relate. And you guys have made me spend more. I know I'm milking this, but two other things. I recently picked up The Undertaker. Which was direct from that website that you guys were talking about. I had a lot of fun with. I love Joe Spinelli. Because of you guys, I got into like Maniac and some of those earlier 80s films. Psychic Killer is another one I never would have watched had you guys not talked about Psychic Killer. Sorry, I'm giving you $1 million, but that's the impact.
That's all right, man.
I be watching. So thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
I'm and like I've said before, I'm discovering these movies like right along most of you because they come out. Brad's seen most of them, and then I watch them, and it's been a ride for me as well to discover these. And sometimes I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this thing? And then I get done watching it, and I'm like, that was really fun, So I'd have never ever picked some of these movies out on my own.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
except for Pompeii, I'd grab Pompeii standing in the supermarket line, like an idiot.
Dude, yeah, if I see a $5 movie and I'm remotely interested, I'm like, it's $5. Whatever. I'll try it. I'll give anything a go.
This is how addiction starts.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Thank you guys for being active on Twitter, responding to fans. I mean, it makes a world of difference. It makes listening to your show so much fun because it really does feel like I'm tuning in to listen to buddies talk about movies.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah, and
awesome.
Well, you're doing it, so thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll let you get to some of your other guests, but thank you for everything.
All right, Paul. Thanks, man.
No problem.
I appreciate it so much. Appreciate you listening.
Yep. See ya.
Thanks, man. Dude, does Jay have his fucking Screamcast shirt on? Dude, that's a fucking original, man. He's got the old school fucking Screamcast t-shirt.
Jay, make sure you click unmute. Click unmute. Can't hear you. It shows you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Hold on one second. Let me make sure we're good. Is your mic not working?
Yeah, Jay, we can't hear you, bro.
Oh man.
It looks like you're telling me giving me just a big fuck you, but
yeah, Jay, it shows that you're unmuted, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Jay, at least we got to see your face in the podcast. I don't know what's going on, man. We said, okay, hold on. Show off the Screamcast shirt. Nobody can see this if you're listening to the podcast, but Jay's wearing our purple Screamcast shirt that we made, an original, a one and only. I'm so upset that the audio's not working.
He's too good of a friend. Yeah. Hey, Jay, put at least your favorite movie in the chat.
Yeah, all J.R. Bookwalter. All right, dude. I'm so upset that the audio is not working. Sorry, man.
Jay's giving us a thumbs up. That's sad. Is that Ultraman in the back? Yeah, Ultraman.
Ultraman's the shit, man. It's fantastic.
So, all right, man. Sorry you couldn't talk, man. It sucks. But all awesome. J.R. Bookwalter. Love you, man. So
kisses and hugs.
Bye, Jay. That's upsetting.
All right, my list.
Crybaby.
Nope. I actually do not have a John Waters film on my top 10.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, so my top 10 list, some of them are probably pretty obvious, but some of them I think are going to surprise you. So I'll start off with Suspiria. Suspiria is in my top 10. It's my favorite it was the film that introduced me to weird, art house horror films. And I just think that it's a masterpiece, even though someone doesn't agree with me. Suspiria's on my list. Heavyweights,
the Ben Stiller movie?
Ben Stiller Fat Camp movie.
Yeah.
I watched that movie probably 25,000 times as a child. It holds a very near and dear place to my heart. It's what I would consider to be a transition comedy film because it's not so babied that I would recommend really little kids to watch it, but it's not so vulgar that it falls into adult humor. It, kind of walks that line. But I think that it's a really well-made film, and I don't think that a film like that's never going to get made again, which is a bummer because I think that it's fucking great. So yeah, Heavyweights. Carrie, that's a pretty obvious one. It's my favorite Stephen King film. I also think that Margaret White is the most fascinating female villain of all time. I'm obsessed with her. That's why I made, my short film Margaret, because I just love everything about sort of the the mythos of what happens when you treat people really shitty for reasons out of their control. I'm also really fascinated by overzealous religious folks, so Carrie kind of hits all of that for me. I Spit on Your Grave, also a no-brainer for me. I've talked about it on numerous occasions on the show. I think that it's one of the most important films ever made. I don't think that it's one of the best made films. I understand that it's not for everybody, but that is one of the few films that doesn't allow an audience to look away from kind of the terror and the harsh reality that is sexual assault. So I think that it's a really important film, and it definitely changed my life for the better. Speaking of, Let the Right One In is another one. I've talked about that before, and like the score of that movie being one of the things that got me through like my most like suicidal period of my life. So it's a very impactful and powerful film for me. Another one on my list is Toy Story. Toy Story was the first movie I ever saw in a theater, and I have very distinct memories of the scene of when Woody is talking to the army men on the counter or on the dresser, and the camera is just like Woody's eyes and the army men. And I remember being in a theater and seeing that and just being blown away by how cinematic this kids movie was. And then I'm fully, going to admit that I was one of those people that saw Toy Story 3 in the theater and openly wept because it was just so emotionally effective. And I think that sometimes we forget that movies that aren't necessarily geared for adults, or movies that aren't these dramas, can be impactful. And Toy Story is proof that you can be an animated film meant for children and still have a really important message to say. And I think that that's something really beautiful about film. So Toy Story is on there. John Carpenter's The Thing, I think, is a perfect film. I think that it is terrifying and wonderful, and the special effects are incomparable. It's so ahead of its time. I love kind of the conversations it brings up about masculinity, because I don't think that a lot of films really focus on the way that men interact with each other as a group. It's usually like one dude and a bunch of secondary characters, whereas I think The Thing is like a couple of main characters, but they all switch roles around like who you're supposed to focus on, which I love.
I can't believe I didn't include The Thing in my top 10. What am I thinking? Honorable mention.
You suck, man.
You didn't have a Carpenter film. No, you can't do that.
You know what? It was
honorable mention because I forgot this one.
It was on my original list that I left at work that I had jotted down, and I couldn't remember. Like, I'm serious, I couldn't remember. So I'm glad The Thing is represented. Thanks,
Braveheart.
I only got a couple more. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, for obvious reasons. I don't think I need to go into that. It's a horror movie. It's sexual. It's a musical. No shit. My favorite comedy movie of all time is Drop Dead Gorgeous. I think that it is so highly underrated. I think that it is brilliant commentary on female interaction. It is the movie that taught me how to speak with a Minnesotan accent, and I can quote that movie like start to finish without even looking at it. I do it constantly in public. Like anytime something bad happens, it's always like, oh crap, oh god, oh god. I love that movie. It's so goddamn funny.
Are we on cops, Dad? Are we on cops?
Are we on cops? I know who the winner is. Allison Janney in that movie deserves every award in the history of awards. Like, oh, you're cute. Oh, I see you're married. Okay. Like, fuck, she's so funny. It's also one of the best ensemble films because everyone in that movie is a star. And it's the introduction of Amy Adams, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. And that's her first movie, and she's hilarious in it. So yeah, Drop Dead Gorgeous. What else do I have? Oh, and my last one, which is just my favorite movie of all time, is Fright Night, because it's vampires, it's Chris Sarandon, it's gay as fuck, It has awesome music. It has amazing costuming. I think all the characters are interesting and they're really fun. Fright Night original. I need to specify that, unfortunately. But yeah, that movie sort of solidified my love of horror, and it represents everything that I love about horror movies and about movies in general. It just really speaks to me. So that is my top 10 of all time.
What I do need to do is give a shout out to Brian Salisbury. He got us, brought us into oneofus.net. So you can always listen to the show on oneofus.net. They've been a huge draw for bringing an audience. We really appreciate all that you do.
We got to give a shout out to Brian Salisbury, Rod Paddock, and Chris Cox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out.
Awesome website. Check it out if you haven't. Check out all the other shows on there as well. There is a shit ton of shows you should be listening to that are over at oneofus.net. So there you go. I have emails to read, and then a voicemail.
Emails. I
hope they're all just like emails that just say, "Dear Sean, you suck." Bye.
Bye, Brad.
This one
got you, fucker.
This one is from Joe Guin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says, "Hey, Screamcast, I just wanted to say congrats on 3 years of podcasting. I've discovered so many great films because of you guys. There have been so many that I can't really pick a favorite, but one that stands out because it stuck with me for days was the movie Emily. After watching it, I felt so uncomfortable and dirty, so thanks for that. Anyway, congrats again, Sean, Brad, BJ, and Josh. You guys are awesome." He's Lex Hunter on Twitter.
Oh, okay. It's Joe Gwynn?
Yeah.
Is his last name Gwynn?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, man. That's the first time anybody's ever said that I recommended Emily and they liked it. So thank you. Because I always like that, and then I shut up about it because no one else has said anything.
Next up is from Morgan Jones. He says, "Hey guys and gal.
Hi,
Morgan.
Congrats on 3 years of easily one of the best film podcasts." Shut up. Thanks for the recommendation for the film Scream for Help. I first heard of the film on the podcast and luckily saw it on the big screen. It brought down the house. Thanks for that. Keep up the great show. Morgan Jones. Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan. Hey, I'm glad that some of our VHS bin stream screen stuff is paying off tonight.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy we do that segment.
Hey guys, it's Wolverine Factor from Twitter. Brad had asked me to talk about a film that you guys had talked about on the podcast that I absolutely loved based on your recommendation. I'm going to have to go with Deathgasm. I'm not usually a death metal horror fan, so taking all the hype for it, I actually went out and got it. Absolutely loved it, so thank you. And congrats to Sean, Brad, and BJ on 3 years and hopefully a lot more.
Bam.
I don't know, man. I don't know the way tonight's going with Sean's attitude.
But for real, though, Deathgasm is awesome. And if you haven't seen it, the fuck you doing?
Shit's brutal.
My kids have been out there this whole time, like, unsupervised for this entire show. So I'm hoping the house isn't, like, totally destroyed.
Noah's gonna set shit on fire.
Hey, no, your kids deserve candy because if they didn't do anything over this fucking 3 hour period, they deserve candy and a horror film.
Totally. Well, my daughter is becoming quite the horror fan.
Does your wife know that you left the kids unattended for 3 hours?
Yes, because I had scheduled this, and then she forgot that she had a dentist appointment, and then she's in real estate and had to go show a house. So it was just like, I was like, the kids will be fine. They'll be fine. What could happen?
Hey, Blair Regenwetter, she said the editor. She watched the editor. It was mentioned on the Screamcast, and she says great music in Deathgasm, and basically wanted to know if Noah showed up. He showed up in the beginning, and then Sean muted his mic, but I could hear him. He said, "Get the fuck out of here, Noah."
I did not say that.
And Noah cried, and he ran out.
Oh, Brad, Blair is a he, you dumb shit. Thanks a lot. Way to go.
Aw, shit. I'm fucking up tonight.
Oh hell!
To answer your question, Blair, on the chat, Noah's favorite movies. He's actually really into My Little Pony and princesses right now. So he's a big fan of Little Mermaid, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and then the My Little Pony cartoon. But he also likes Spider-Man.
Dude, Noah and my little cousin would get along famously. He's also a brony, and he's 4, but he's all about Spider-Man. They would be like bros for life.
Yeah, nice.
Bros
all
for
right.
life.
BJ, I'm glad you made it.
I am too. I'm glad that I can make it. I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
I want to thank all of you guys for watching, for listening. This was a huge experiment. I was stressing out hardcore when we first started this, but I think once we got going, it kind of worked out.
I have to deal.
Here's Noah. What's up, Noah? What's up?
Noah, what's up?
You're hungry. Come here. Tell everybody how hungry you are. Come here. Come here. Come tell me how hungry you are. Come here. All right, I'll give you a snack in a second, okay?
No, you need to feed that bitch, man. You can't give
2
him
minutes.
Just, gummy bears.
Dude, the kid ate so much at dinner time. In a little bit, but I'll come out and give you a snack.
Tell him I say friendship is magic.
Okay? Hold on. Friendship is magic, Noah. All right, we gotta wrap up, but I want to thank all of you for watching. Check out our website, please, thescreamcast.com. Check out all of our sponsors.
Grindhouse Video, Vinegar Syndrome, Ink Spatters,
Coffee Shop of Horrors.
Coffee Shop of Horrors.
We did it.
Good job, Brad.
Vinegar Syndrome forever. I love you, James.
Find all the films we talked about grindhousevideo.com, but they won't probably have Sean's top 10. Maybe Aliens.
Probably.
You might have it in the used DVD section.
Probably, yeah. It'll be in the used DVD section.
It's in the dollar bin at Walmart.
Heck yeah. Anyway, check out our show over at oneofus.net. Check out their other shows. You can check us out, all of our social media links and everything over at thescreamcast.com. We do have some enamel pins for sale. Please buy these enamel pins if you want one. And finally, huge shout out to Wolfman of Mars for providing the music.
Blair just said that because she
that is she, you idiot. Blair, I apologize.
This is not the facts of life.
I know, fucking never mind.
All right, here we go.
Mind. I give up, dude.
Hey, we gotta sign off. Thanks, you guys, for listening.
This is all what I've done. Okay. Noah, what do you need?
What? Come up here and say hello. Say hello.
Hi, Noah.
What? We need to see your face. There's his face right here. Look at him. There he is right there. Oh. All right. All right. Again, Dad, all of you. This is what happens when we go too long. Everyone starts coming in.
You're in trouble. Sean's in trouble.
Sean's in trouble.
We will talk to all of you guys next time. It'll be an audio show. We're going to try to do these Google Hangouts a few times a year. So we'll let you guys know about those. Again,
seasonal.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will talk to all of you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy anniversary. Fuck you.
Mwah.
Bye.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. The party's just begun.
I'm getting a little drunk, so you need to take over.
I didn't take over. You gonna be okay? Man, you were saying like we're gonna party all night on YouTube. Yeah, go drink some water. Maybe get yourself a soda or some coffee.
Water. Water would be good.